17 last week, come back, tie the game. So we knew that they'd battle all the way to the end. Thought our guys hung in there. It wasn't our best game, but I think anytime we have 315 yards rushing, we're going to be excited about that. Thought some of the option plays were really good plays for us. The speed options allowed us to get on the perimeter, but there's still a lot of things to improve and clean up. So we'll keep battling away, trying to get better. Happy for the guys. They went 1-0 this week. They handled the rain delay. Very appreciative for everybody that came to the game, and certainly for the people that came back after the rain delay and were there to cheer us on to the very end. I appreciate them very, very, very much. So with that, I'll see what questions you have.
9 plays, 9 runs, 85 yards to start the third quarter. What kind of statement were you trying to make with those calls, and what statement did you make to start the second half?
Yeah, I'll say it again. I think when you come out with when you have a option attack, you're going to get different defenses. And so part of it is, seeing what people are doing, right? So we were getting a lot of like Sam strong safety from the field. We were getting a lot of Bear, a lot of things that, you have to have specific answers to. So we found that. We played with some tempo on that drive. Anthony made some big plays. Lindemeyer's the guy that's really stepped up for us recently and was collapsing the edge, and so we were able to hit some plays on that drive. So I think it was just more a deal about hey, we found something. Let's stay with it. Let's get some first downs. Let's go from there and attack. And I thought the guys did that on that drive.
What's your early assessment on Harburg's day? And was he banged up at all at the end, or did he just want to go to prison?
Yeah, no. When we came back in, he got wrapped. I think he felt something. He felt tight, and I think he was maybe cramping a little bit at the end. So, we went ahead and went to Chuba there to finish the game out. So I think had we not had the rain delay, conceivably he would have finished. Just when he came in, he just tightened up.
What has he given your quarterback position, just the stability, the lack of turnovers you guys have had as an offense the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think anytime we protect the football, we have a chance to play good defense, to control the game on the ground. Again, I thought we were at 3:15 there early in the fourth quarter. Things go a little differently. I thought maybe we'd get a couple more. Those 2 runs called back might have been a 400. Running for 400, 450. That's kind of day you'd like to have out there. But I think he did a good job. He executed the play calls. Some things he didn't. Some things he didn't execute. So the great thing about Heinrich is he's trying to get better. We're coaching him through it. But for the most part, I thought he managed the game pretty well. But there's he, like all of us, like me, all of us have to continue to get better.
Where did it stand with Sims and his availability today, and how does Heinrich's play the last 2 weeks impact that position moving forward?
Jeff was probably was able to go, but limited in terms of what he can do in terms of the ability to run the football. He did come in for one play. Heinrich signaling. He's got Chuba's signaling, so to find his helmet. Jeff went in at the end. I think Jeff was probably tight there, just his ankle, just after being out there all day. Didn't see the use of having him go re-injure that. But I think Jeff's an excellent player. He played 2 really tough teams on the road, and I thought, a lot of things that happened, everyone's just going to lump on him. Some of those things weren't his fault. So we're going to get him all ready to play and play the guy that we think gives us the best chance to win.
What can you say about Anthony Grant, his performance today?
Yeah, it looked like it was a good day for Anthony. I think the biggest thing was the thing I was most proud of. If you put a camera on me, I went over there and about punched him in a good way, fired up, because he's the one who made the block on Fidoni's touchdown. We checked that versus that Sam Strong safety. We knew that if they brought it, it would be there, and he scanned all the way back. And so those are the things that we've been working on Anthony to get, not just to be a runner, but to be a guy that can be effective in protections, and he did that. And that was a huge play that really to me kind of opened things up.
Over these past 2 weeks, what have you seen that gives you confidence just going into kind of the teeth of the conference season now?
You guys know me. I don't think that. I don't really. I've got confidence in our guys. To me, you're never as good as you think you are when you win. You're never as bad as you think you are when you lose. We're just trying to get better. I just keep challenging them. To not listen to the part of you that wants to say, well, we should beat this team. I don't know about this team. Just go come in every week, work, and play the game. See what happens. Right? Let's go compete for however many games we have left. 8 games left, and see what happens. So. We have good players. We're playing doing some good things. We're doing some things that aren't very good. Some of our kicking game stuff is just not. We're kicking the ball out of bounds. We missed another field goal today. So things have to, a 23-yard punt. Things have to improve, but we have the ability to do that. the key is, I told the guys to go celebrate, have fun tonight, come in tomorrow, and then we have to be really, really serious about, how we improve. Anything that happened in that game, they were warned about. We were warned about number 6. We were warned about number 1. We were warned about how good those guys are, and they were good players. And so, for us, I'm glad we found a way to get the win. I'm glad we kind of did some of the things that we believe in terms of taking the ball away at the end and running the football. But we just had to hit overdrive as a team.
What was the locker room like during the lightning delay, and how do you stay locked in when you have no idea how long it's going to be before you get back out there?
Yeah, we went in initially, and we met as a staff real quick. The guys were kind of in there. We met initially about kind of our plan as a staff. Corey did a great job of when we thought we had about 10 minutes left, kind of getting the guys up in that locker room. We took them out there. It was very sort of, I really didn't know how much time. Even when we got out there, I thought it was going to be 10 minutes. It was like 12 and 13. So, I mean, those things are hard, right? So we just, we want to be the type of organization. What's next? Like, hey, we'll play now. We'll play tomorrow. Well, the guys were enjoying playing. They were like, let's go play in the Hawks. Let's finish this thing. So, I'm glad we got a chance to finish playing. I'm glad they had a chance to finish playing. They went down, scored a touchdown, which is disappointing to me. But we got guys more reps. So, but I thought we did a good job. Our strength staff and training staff and nutritionists and Kristen and all them, they did a good job of making sure the guys were ready when they came back out.
What gave you confidence that the Leak Road fake would work?
Yeah, we've had it up the last 2 weeks. It's just a numbers game, right? And so we repped it. Going back to Colorado, those 2 balls where we fumbled it, that was going to get called right there if we don't fumble those 2 balls. So we've been working on it for weeks. And it's something that we've had in our arsenal. Ed's had in his arsenal for 10 years. We always have it available. And this week we thought maybe we had the numbers, and we went ahead and pulled it out.
Have you ever run that before in your coaching career?
Oh yeah. You'd have to ask Ed for when. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but we've run it a couple times. It seemed like a sure field goal, seemed like points, but at the same time, I just wanted to also send if it's there. If it's not there, we weren't going to do it, but I want to send a message to our guys, and I was really happy for Timmy. It's a guy that was a starting kicker. He's there. He's the backup kicker. He's the backup holder. Unbelievable team guy, great student. So he had a chance to go affect the game, and I thought that was another one of those plays like Fedoni's touchdown that kind of gave us some juice.
Status of a Luke Reimer, I saw he left the game for you guys.
Yeah, I won't know much more till later, so I'm not really sure what it was. Just kind of symptom based, so I'll wait, till I know more. But I don't know exactly what it was. It wouldn't be anything long term, but his availability for this week, I don't know right now.
What was your overall evaluation of your special teams play today?
I wouldn't say it was the best we've done. We gave up a 100-yard kickoff return that got called back. The kickoffs weren't, exactly where we needed them to be. The first one was fantastic. But, like anything else, I'm sure there was some, put one down at the 1-yard line, which was a big play. Had the fake field goal. So we made some plays that, on special teams, to me, you want to execute and play really clean. And then when you have a chance, make a couple plays to help you win. We made 2 plays that helped us win. There's just some plays we're leaving out there right now that, even that last touchdown, it comes off a short punt that we just had to be a little bit better on. So again, that's why I say you're never as bad as you are. We're kind of where we are. We just got to keep battling to get better. And I think we have guys on special teams that can make plays that'll help us, right? So thankfully we got back on that kickoff return that we fumbled. I mean, there were some things there that just aren't the way we want to play.
How encouraged are you about the running game? I mean, you run for 312, and it could have been a lot more if you don't get those 2 long ones called back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ability to run some option with it. We hit a couple of RPOs today that go as passing yards. I think our ability to last week we're running. It's hard to do what we're doing, right? Like to run 2-back, 22 personnel power, and hit it for a big play, and then come back and hit a speed option for a play, and hit a zone read for a play. Again, from the very beginning, we're putting in an offense and a defense that's versatile, that can handle the elements, that takes advantage of the players that we have. Sometimes there's a little learning curve along with that. Again, they were going to sell out and take away the run, and I was glad that we got the yardage that we did get. And again, two called back that really hurt.
Those 2 you had called back, the 70 and the 75-yarder, they were holding calls on the receivers. Do you see those as being overly aggressive or like lack of discipline? How do you coach that?
Oh, I wouldn't say those were lack of discipline at all. I thought they were trying to block the way you're supposed to block. I'm not allowed to say much else other than that. But I mean, again, if a guy gets out here and pulls a guy down, we don't want any of that stuff, right? But I thought they were they were striking and running their feet and blocking away. When Ron Brown shows me those cut-ups of back in the day, we were driving our feet trying to run guys out of bounds. We were trying to do that. So, they called him. It is what it is. But I thought, see the tape, I might feel completely differently. But from what I saw on the field, looking up at the replay, I thought guys were playing hard. So,
Thank you, Coach.
thank you, guys.
Questions for AG?
Anthony, what has the roller coaster of this season been like for you, and then to have a game like today? Just talk about how you've kind of rode the ride here the last few weeks.
Yes, sir. I kind of just, stayed focused, kept my head down, and just, focused on the bigger picture, more than anything. Just thinking, above myself, thinking, team first was the biggest thing for me to stay focused on and things like that.
How much have you worked on your pass pro, Anthony, and on the Fedoni touchdown? It seemed like guys are pretty fired up about what you did on that play.
Yeah, it's just really just sacrificing for our, for our team, and just doing the little things to, ultimately, make something big, make something, bigger out of it.
Heinrich's a pretty powerful runner. He's willing to take guys on. Do you like seeing that from your quarterback when he's going out there getting into contact too?
Oh yeah, I love a mobile quarterback. Likes to get out. In the open, and sacrifice for the team like he does. I really just love everything that he does. He's a really, selfless person.
7 at halftime, Anthony. What was it like in the locker room? What was your level of concern? What was going through your mind?
At halftime was really just for us to stay focused. Not overthink anything or anything like that, and just come out. Not really. Like overthinking anything. Just playing our game, going. One play at a time, body blows after body blows.
What did you see on that 4th down run?
On the 4th down run, I just kind of stayed, stayed patient, kind of just just focused in on, on my reads and my details, and, and just kind of, just did what I did and followed my blockers.
How you feel right now? I mean, it's got to be rewarding to have a day like today, and obviously it's not just you, but to have a day like you did. How do you feel right now?
I feel kind of great. I feel like this isn't my best game, despite of everything. I feel like there's more in store for us, more in store for me.
How much do you like when leaving Trent's in front of you, especially on that first drive out of the break?
Mm-hmm. I feel like leaving Trent's a really good blocker. He's another kid that's, really selfless, and, will, do anything for, me and, our brothers.
How do you approach being put back in this position now where you're the guy and you see what's up next? You have Michigan coming in here next week.
Just realizing that we have a bigger team coming in. Realizing that, some things that we make mistakes on can't, typically happen, in the game versus Michigan. Like, we really got to, take advantage of any opportunity that's given to us, and, really study and get ready for, Michigan. Get in our playbook and really, get ready for that game.
All good? All right. Thank you. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, no problem.
important was that fourth down stop? You know, it's 14-7 there in the third quarter, 4th and 1 at the 28. You guys stop a sneak. How big was that for you guys?
That was very big. We needed momentum for us, and I feel like that 4th and 1 stop just showed what the defense is capable of, and shows what the defense relies on. We relied on making those stops and winning those situations, and that just showed the world what we can do.
They obviously got some gifted guys in space like Smoke Harris, but how do you think you did overall as a defense today?
I feel like we did good. I mean, we made some mistakes. I mean, we let a lot of stuff get away from us, but as far as that, we did well, and we just had to get better for next week.
Curious, does this game mean a little bit more for you playing a team from Louisiana?
It does. You know, I know a lot of people on Louisiana Tech team, and I just wanted to go out there and compete against them. And, you know, that's what we do down there, and you know, it was just special.
What was it like in the locker room during the lightning delay, and how hard is it to stay up when you have no idea how long it's going to be before you get back out there?
I mean, it wasn't hard for us because every Wednesday we prepare like that. We'll practice, go inside for like 30 minutes, and then go back out and practice again. Because you know, just those type of situations, it was just another Wednesday practice for us. You know, right into team compete. It wasn't too hard.
What did you do during the break?
We just really sat down and chilled for a little minute, and then we just got warmed up inside and warmed up outside.
How would you describe the chemistry the secondary has developed through these first 4 games, and in particular you and Omar at the safety spots?
I mean, we got a lot of chemistry. I mean, we're all new there in the secondary, so it took time, but I feel like we growing together. You know, we all brothers, and we trusting each other back there. One make a mistake, we know he gonna bounce back and keep it pushing. You know, we just got that mindset. Anything go wrong, we gonna come back the next play like nothing happened. So
You got involved in a couple of run stops, but when you see them running the ball, I mean, how much confidence do you have that the D linemen and the linebackers are going to swallow that up most of the time?
Because I have so much confidence, I see it in practice. You know, they flying to the ball every day in practice. We flying to the ball in practice, so I have no worries in the run game, and it just gives the defense motivation, momentum, excitement when everyone's getting to the ball in that run game. We stopping the run.
You guys take care of business in the first 2 home games here. You have Michigan coming up. What's the message going to be about margin for error that you guys have for next Saturday?
Margin for error. I mean, we can't. I tell you this, we can't turn the ball over, and we have to get turnovers. So that's the only way we're gonna be able to win the game, and we just got to go out there and play our game.
The Husker defense is ranked as one of the best rush defenses in the country. What does that say about the defense, and how do you feel about that?
I feel excited about that. I mean, we the best run defense in the country. I feel like it puts the secondary, you know, we had to put the defense on our back after that because we know they can't run it, so they got to throw the ball. So we as a group as the secondary has to, you know, win the game for us or hold up, and I feel like we've been doing that.
Coach Rule mentioned trying to block out the opponent, just play your game. Wondering what, you know, the conference season coming up after this, is that a difficult thing to do? Just block everything out, just not think about the opponent, play how you want to play?
No, it's not, because I mean, what Coach Rule has done with us since he's got here, he just changed our mentality about everything. We have a what's next mentality, win every rep mentality. Like we're not worried about the outside. You know, we always gonna play our game, and that's how we practice. It ain't nothing but practice out there when we play. So,
DeSean, this is a tie game at halftime. How were you guys able to take control in the third quarter?
Just doing us. You know, we made some coaches made great adjustments. You know, we executed a lot of plays. I feel like we just never had our heads down, never got frustrated. We just kept pushing. Yeah.
How do you describe that challenge that you guys have ahead of you now going back into Big Ten play?
Man, we just gonna move forward. We just gonna work how we been doing. You know, I feel like we could beat anybody we play, and long we keep doing that, keep working, keep having our heads down, we're gonna be all right.
offense to kind of break things open in the second half?
Yeah, I think we found some things that really worked well for us. And then we had known a lot of the week that we were going to run, but once we found them, started to calm a little bit more and make, like you said, some adjustments off those plays and open up different stuff. So.
Another week, and there was, at least on the outside, there was uncertainty about who was going to play the position. How did it go for you, and when did you feel comfortable like you were the guy that was taking the snaps today?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a deja vu from last week. I came in Sunday night. Jeff took a couple more snaps than he did last week, but still took all the snaps that I was given and acted like I was the starter and prepared like I was. So, I think that's key, with this situation. Everyone trying to uplift each other. Every chance you get, you got to make the most of it.
Coach said he's comfortable going all the way to the end if he has to determine who's going to start, even a quarterback. Are you comfortable with that? And when did you find out officially this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like last week. I don't know if there's ever, Coach Rule never sat me down in his office and was like, "You're going to start this week," because I think he expects us. When you're given those first team reps or even those second team reps, like he expects you to prepare like you are going to be the starter. So I mean, him sitting us down and telling us, "Hey, you're going to start this week." I mean that kind of defeats the purpose, because then 1 week, if he doesn't sit you down, are you going to practice the same? So I think that's I don't know if that's his philosophy or not, but that's something I've kind of taken and run with it.
Being a college quarterback, I'm sure, is a learning curve, right? You've done this for 2 weeks. How are you on that learning curve, and how are you on the learning curve of just running the option and knowing like all the iterations that you can do on a given play?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of the option. That's why, a lot of the 90s, 80s, 90s teams and with Coach Osborne, I think that's why they're so successful is, as a quarterback, if you know the weapons that you have and you can distribute the ball, then you're going to be successful. It may not, a lot of those guys, I saw something last week that was interesting. Someone was comparing, carries, and, Coach Frost and Tommy Frazier and all those guys didn't have as many carries as I did in a week, but they were also pitching the ball a lot more. And they were just distributing the ball, just being a point guard. And so I think once you get really fluent, kind of knowing who the pitch key is and being comfortable with the backs, I mean, that offense becomes deadly. And obviously we can combine that with a different element of, what Coach Sapp brings from all of his years and all the other coaches as well.
Who are you kind of like learning from on how to know when to pitch it, when to keep it? Obviously today they were letting you keep it, but who are you kind of learning from?
I think that's a accumulation of the last 2 years. We ran that a lot my first year, but then also, these coaches have sat down, they've really studied this option side of the playbook, and they've watched a lot of film, and obviously Coach Ron Brown, he's been here since the 80s. He's seen a lot of option quarterbacks, so he knows, he gives us some insight into that too, attacking angles, knowing when to pitch and stuff like that. But I really these new offensive coaches that some of them have never run the option like this in their life. I mean, they've sat down, they've put a lot of time into it.
What's your thoughts about where the passing game is at right now?
I think it's good, but it needs to keep developing. Last week was a lot more just getting completions. This week we came out, wanted to kind of stretch the field a little bit more. We were close on a couple of them, and then we connected on a couple as well. But some of that's on me. I got to see just little details better. Whether that's watching film more or maybe understanding better where to go with the ball and check it down sometimes. But I think the O-line's doing a great job of giving me time.
Great rush for 135 today. What do you think of the way that he ran the ball, and also the way he approached the week, given the news with Ramir and Gabe?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, I didn't see AG change at all because AG's always been ready to go. We saw last year how dominant of a running back he could be. And at the start of this year, things didn't fall his way.
So I don't think he ever changed in his mindset that, I'm second, third string now. I'm just not going to try. Like, AG's a guy that comes to work every day. He doesn't waver. And so I think that's, that just is another guy that's a result of stacking days.
The option run game is an offense all to itself, and you're kind of learning it on the fly here mid-season, early in the season. What's it like to do that and balance that, and try to also continue to learn what Coach Sapp has as far as the principles in the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's a balance. We don't sit down and we don't watch the '90s film all the time about the option. We install new stuff, new pass plays that that go on up in the coach's office. I mean, they pump out new plays all the time that sometimes they don't get to show them on game day. But this offense I think it's always evolving. I think that's going to be something dangerous for us in the future.
How do you think you played today? How do you think you played today? Like, do you feel better about today than last week? Or
Yeah. Obviously, there's always stuff to improve on. But I really hope. For me, I want to be confident in myself, but I also want my teammates to be confident in me. And so I hope they look at me and they see someone who went out there and battled to the end. I want those guys to, look at me as I'm going to have their backs all the way. So that's really all I want to do.
Last week you showed off your physicality. Today with the 2 long runs, even with one of them called back, you got to show off a little bit of your speed. How'd you feel about how that kind of felt today, being able to outrun the DBs?
Yeah, it was I was just talking to my mom, and she knew right away after the one that got called back. She was a little worried because she knew in high school I only ran the 100 and the 200. So I ran about 100 yards down that way, 100 yards back, and she knew that's about my limit. Obviously I want to keep pushing that, being able to stay controlled with my breathing, being able to operate the offense even when I'm tired and can't breathe. But I was really grateful just for the O-line and for the receivers blocking downfield. Those guys that's the reason that I got to show off my speed there.
All right. Thank you, Heinrich. Nick Heinrich.
Nick, you get the 4th and 1, and they've got on your 28, you get that stop. How important was that, and what kind of statement did that send?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get in those short yardage situations, that can really swing momentum. So I think that was big for us. D-line did a really good job getting off the ball.
Those sneaks usually work from now on. Like, almost always they work now. What did you guys do there that maybe pushed them back?
I think that's just Nash being strong. And, I mean, he was lined up nose to nose with him, and he did a really good job.
What is it about this defense that's really worked for you guys these first 4 weeks? It seems like you guys have gotten better each week.
Yeah, I think it's just a group of guys flying around to the ball, but I think we still have a lot of work to do. And, I don't think we tackled great today, which needs to improve, and that'll be a focus point in practice this week. So,
what goes through your head when you have a lightning delayed midway through a game and you have no idea how long you're going to be in the locker room before you have to go back out there? Like, how do you guys stay up without knowing how long the break's going to be?
Yeah, it was a weird situation. So we just got off our feet, and then, we didn't know how long we were going to be in there. And then 15 minutes, he was like, all right, let's start warming up again. And then you just got to lock back in, get your mind right to go back out there and finish the game.
Hey, Nick, how happy are you for a guy like Heinrich Harburg, who's definitely had a share of ups and downs here, to really shine these last 2 games?
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's always been a super hardworking, humble guy. So to see him out there and have the success he has been really great for all of us.
He had that speed?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's very fast.
When did you know he had that speed? Like, is there a moment of practice that you saw?
Yeah, probably the first play he was in there, you're just like, wow, this guy can run. So.
2 straight wins, now you're going into kind of the teeth of the conference season. How do you build off of this moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to watch this film and see what we can improve, and then, yeah, it's going to be trying to go 1-0. That's what we've been trying to do every week, so we're just going to keep trying to do that. So we'll watch this one, put it to bed, and then move on to next week.
You know, Michigan, I mean, you played against them in 21. What's true about what's coming this week that you can tell your teammates about? Some of them also know, but what's true about this week?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team, obviously, and they're going to try and run the ball. So, like I said, we're going to watch this one, put it to bed, make the fixes we need to fix, and then we'll start moving on to Michigan.
Is there things about this run defense that is different than any other run defense you've been a part of at Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, I just think Coach White and all the coaches have done a great job of getting us to play really fast, and I mean, they're coaches that you really love playing for, and the guys are doing a great job.
What kind of confidence do you have in this formula right now that you guys are using, all 3 phases, to win these last 2 games, and how that can play in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, to win in the Big Ten, you have to be great in all 3 phases, and you got to play complementary football and build off each other when the offense is having success or vice versa. So I think it's just about complementary football.
Anything else? All right,
Thank you.